Hello, bonjour and welcome to your new Bonheur Private Wines video. Today I want to continue exploring some of the best wine and food pairings on earth. Which wine goes with which food? If you remember, a little while ago I gave you 3 simple but essential tips to pairing wine and food, some general food and wine pairing guidelines which I recommend to always have in mind. You can watch this video right here if you don't remember it or if you missed it. But today I want to get into one of my favorite foods in the whole wide world. Therefore, one of my favorite pairings, wine with Japanese food. Wine with the delicious, succulent and subtle sushi. It's a tricky pairing indeed, because sushis are delicate in flavors and wine isn't a natural traditional pairing with them, right? Sake would be. So which wine styles go best with sushi? Let's dive in. As we've said, as we know, sushis are very delicate in flavors, so you have to go with wines that are subtle in tastes too. Not too big, not too powerful. Yet, you don't want to go with too dry or too acidic a wine. You need an elegant wine, yet one that is a little bit playful without being too powerful aromatically. You have to hit that perfect balance on the head, not too neutral or dry a wine, or it would render the sushi a little too metallic and unpleasant, not too fruity or too sweet either. There is a perfect style of white wine for this in the name of a dry or slightly off-dry Riesling. Riesling is a little fruity, it's citrusy, it's a little lemony, it's got this delicate background of pear and apricot aromas that just lift up the flavors of sushi without overwhelming them at all. It's almost like Riesling was engineered for sushi, if you ask me, which is odd because Riesling is German, originally not Japanese at all, but it actually works wonders. Take a dry Riesling from Germany or from Alsace in France, those are pretty much always dry, or a similar style from Oregon or Washington in the US. I think sweetness doesn't really work well with sushi. Sugar sort of clashes or distracts from too much from the neutral balance of the delicious sushi dish. So go for a dry wine or one that has just a little touch of sweetness to it. You can pair a red wine with sushi if you prefer red, and quite a few of us do, but you have to go with a light one, light in flavors, light in tannins, light in alcohol as well, again to respect the elegance of the dish, the crucial point. The perfect red wine style also exists in the form of a cool climate Pinot Noir, one of those Pinots that is acidic and light-bodied with delicate notes of sour cherries, gentle spices as well. No sweetness there, no overpowering alcohol, no big cooked fruit flavors in the Pinot, red berry aromas to make things fun and exciting, yet letting the raw fish speak for itself. Take a Burgundy Pinot Noir that is dry and crisp, or again a Pinot from Oregon, one from Marlborough in New Zealand, not Central Otago, Patagonia in Chile. Absolutely gorgeous. As a red wine lover myself, this is probably my favorite pairing here, although there's quite a few other good ones in there. Yet let's make it easy also on ourselves. If you don't want to be bothered unearthing a complicated wine style that is hard to find at some of the ones that I'm talking about here, or you simply are at the Japanese restaurant and they don't have one of those other wine styles on the list, well, there is a classic and simple wine style that works well every time with sushi, Simply a dry and crisp, cool climate Chardonnay. Chardonnay from a relatively cold region go for an unoaked Chardonnay that has delicate flavors of lime and subtle herbal notes on the backbone of acidity and minerality without being too austere. That's what a cool climate Chardonnay offers. Not the most creative or original pairing in my list, but a staple that works beautifully still. Always a good backup plan to have on hand. And if you are feeling summery, it's a hot day out there, and you want to have something pink, or simply because you do enjoy the combination of citrus flavors and delicate red berries that what rosés offer, do that subtle combination, the perfect in between red and white wine, or simply because you are with somebody who is a rosé lover. Some people say, oh, I'm craving a rosé. Well, know that rosé is absolutely perfect, always a good choice as well for sushi, mineral, dry style, and one that is not too fruity you need to go for. The best way to find that style is to find one that is rather pale in color. Those are generally very delicate in flavors and more often than not dry. The darker ones, like this one for example, feature too explosive and upfront fruity, sometimes a bit even artificial strawberry-like type of flavors. Those are not your best option. You want to go for a pale rosé in this case, if you really want to make sure you get that crisp mineral type. You can even aim for the word Provence on the label if you want to be sure to get the refreshing traditional style from the coastal south of France that we're aiming for here. Those delicate, subtle, delicious, mineral, salty almost rosés that are so delicious with Japanese food. Champagne, and I unfortunately don't have a glass of champagne here to feature in the video, but champagne and other refined sparkling wine styles are not just for toasting and really special occasions, birthdays and so on. It's a very versatile wine to go with virtually any kind of foods as well. One kind of dish it goes particularly well, you've guessed it, is sushi. And certainly with a brut style in particular, brut, this dry type, as it offers that subtle combination of flavors, the creamy and the buttery texture, the limey zinginess and the playfulness of the bubbles as the bonus. It's actually hard to think of a better, more tempting pairing than this one, sushi and champagne. Certainly worth having in mind for a romantic dinner, for example. Why not treat ourselves with the best of the wine world, the best that it can offer with sushi? If you love champagne and you love sushi, well, that's your perfect combination right here. Here were my 5 best wine pairing suggestions for sushi. Oh, I'm really craving for sushi and yeah, champagne or maybe Pinot Noir with it. Anyhow, very hungry right now. I'll leave it here for today and I will see you soon in the wonderful world of vino. Cheers. Yeah, rosé will work well too.